everybody. Jeffrey Guterberg doing this YouTube kind of thing. And I want to give a very, very profound and sincere apology to all of my friends out there. Hey, Ron McGrath, yes, it's here. It is here. And we're very happy. And I am sorry, folks, for all of the, well, you know how it goes. We're a low-budget program here. And the first thing I'm going to do is turn this over to get ourselves a nice cut here, to cut into the product. But before that, the second thing I'm going to do is I'm taking a hit, because I've had sort of a difficult day. And Lord, I want to thank the Lord that it is a Friday. I really do. I want to thank the Lord. I've had a day. Most of it's self-inflicted. Oh. The cost of this is nothing when you think about the entertainment value it can bring a person. I want you all to think about that. This is the official unboxing of the 1972 Strat-O-Matic football set. That's nice, by the way. There it is. Strat-O-Matic Pro Football. Manage real pro football players, the most statistically accurate football simulation game. You're the coach, make the call. 3 games in 1. This is, I can see this is going to be my score pad. Wow, these are gorgeous. Receiving, rushing. Yeah, this reminds me. You put the 2, each team's quarterbacks. That's the way I do it. This is opponent. This is attempting to pass. I don't need to. That's not a statistic I think I'm interested in keeping. Yeah, that's the way I do it. If I'm going to use 2 quarterbacks, I could put one below it, just like when you use pitchers. And then this over here, kickoff returns, punts, punt returns, score by period, first downs. See, this is really for one team. I'll have to decide how I want to work this out. But one sheet, front and back, has to be used for one game. No doubt about it. It's a much more complex game than baseball. Okay, here are the player cards. Here's the roster. And this may be pretty quick. I may do the cards. I may do a game tonight where it's really going to be a reading of the instructions. Okay, NFC, AFC. These are not every player. These are offense, I would assume. And then the defense is listed in the cards. Oh, I love these. I remember when this was one game board. Now, I don't have use for the second of these. Okay, we'll get to this later. Here are your two. Well, they give you more than one. This is your play cards. This is for basic, but here's where you can run keys. And you can double team, I guess, on the card. I'll have to, on the board. Now, here are the coveted dice. And I'll just go with what they have for now. It's very interesting kind of dice. This is I remember when Strat-O-Matic did not have penalties. Oh yeah, Ron. I remember when they did not have penalties and they added that. It was like you would play the game and then all of a sudden you would just get a feeling like, wait a minute, where are the penalties? It wasn't easy, and then he finally figured it out with another die. There's no 20 die here, I don't think. Here are the rubber bands. Now these are very cool. These, I probably won't be having to use these, but these are great. First down marker. This is just great stuff. These I use. I remember all that. Now here are the coveted instructions, and it's a text-laden instruction booklet, which the only way for me to do this is slowly and carefully. It may take me a couple games. It may take me 2 or 3. I'm going to be doing preseason games just like they play to get themselves ready. And I'll go right through it from elementary and hold scrimmages, if you will, or we'll see. Here's some extra. These are good to have. In fact, they give you 3 of them. That's nice. This, I think, is very cool. I see people with elaborate baseball fields. And this works just fine for me. This just works great. I love it. Here's your timer. I'm gonna have to figure out how this is with the 2 minutes left in each half. Here's your X chart. And I get another Strat-O here. A nice fresh one. Isn't that nice? I'll put it up with my collection here. Oh, shit. What the hell? Good God. And that's all the pieces. Let's take a look at the cards. And the Dolphins are on top. I don't know how many cards they have exactly. So we're going to be super, super careful when we assemble these teams. And, you know, I remember when the cards were oversized compared to baseball, and now they've made them this size, and I kind of like that, how they've made them the same. See what we got here. Miami. Wow, this is defense elementary. It's funny how they call it that when it's also called basic. I remember that. Isn't it beautiful, Ron? So we're gonna just count these. That's 3, 6, 9 on Miami. It's greasy. This is another 9. So pass receiver doesn't have an advanced side, whereas a running back does. Interesting. Oh, wait a minute. This is his passing, and this is his running. Wow. Wonder why they couldn't do... Yeah, okay. Runners needed in a landscape version. Kick, Morris, there's 18. And then it starts with New York, the Jets. So it's possible that it is 18. There's 26 teams. I bet he does. 9. I bet he has to have a card. I'll look. Because, yeah, I didn't realize Greasy didn't play the whole season or part. He missed a lot of it. I have to see the names of these defensive players. 2. Okay, these are defensive cards. Advanced. And run, flat pass. Yeah, short pass. Look, long pass is end run. Okay, that covers them all. This is the no-name defense. But there's got to be a card. Hold on. 4. Here we go. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, 18 cards. Here we go. Look at this. Offensive and defensive rating card. Defensive players, suggested starting lineup, and defensive players substitutes. And here's your offensive non-runners or backs. So you have 18 cards, 3 of them are for defense, so that's 15 player cards. But you have here players, you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19. Wait a minute. You have 8, 15. 24. That's 34. And then there may be some duplicates. Probably not. You have like well over, you almost have 50 players. There are your Dolphins, your world champion Dolphins. You have 5, 6, 13 in a league. 13 in a league. And I know some of you are going to be tempted to help me, and that's great. But let me take my time here when I get to be going with a game here. We'll go from kickoff right down the line, and I have my trusty coin, and it's a JFK half dollar, of course. Okay, here are the New York Jets. It'll be 9, 18 again. And then this New York team, they had great receivers, Bell and I forgot the other guy's name. Oops, there's Baltimore, wow. Love it. It looks great. The fact that they have these set up into 2 sheets each for each team. I love that. You know, they're passing down the expense of this to sort these, collate them. They let us do it, and supposedly we should be saving a few bucks, so they don't have to do it or pay to have it done. Oh, absolutely, Earl Morrill. I remember that. In fact, if you want, let me go look. I'm sorry if I bypassed that. Let's take a look where Morrill is. I know he's here. He has to be. I mean, I bet lots of money on it. Here's Greasy. This is his passing record. He only had 97 passes attempted and 638 yards. Here's my favorite of all, Larry Zonka. These are the passing side. Warfield, Twilly, kicking and penalty card. I love it. Love it. Here's Jim Kick, Mercury Morris. Here's Earl Morrill. These cards are so new, like all these cards are. We have the entire NFL, people. Here's Bob Davis, substitute, backup. Here's Emerson Boozer, Riggins. Riggins didn't. Well, he had 944 yards, for Christ's sakes. Did I ever tell you the story about when I harassed him and almost got suspended from school? He was a substitute teacher in our math class, and I just harassed the shit out of him when I found out who he was. And he complained, and I got into trouble. Here are the New York Jets. 18. There it is. Don't forget, you got all these other players. Here are the Colts. This should get quicker now. And yeah, then Buffalo. The good thing is I know a lot of these players, and that's what makes it worthwhile. Boy, did I have a long day. But it ended well. There it is. There's Johnny U. Yeah, Johnny U played the whole season, basically, or much of it. There's that one game, the Jets and the Colts. I think it was in Baltimore. And Namath threw for 497 yards rushing and 396, I believe, for Okay, here's Buffalo. Of course, it's going to include Simpson, which is bizarre how what's happened to the world. You know what I'm saying? He was the hottest commodity. I mean, jumping through airports for, I don't know if it was for Hertz or what company. It's crazy what happened to him. I should say what he did to people. The Buffalo Bills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's OJ, 1,251 yards. The next year he got like 2,003. Beautiful. Well, I've done the first 4 teams, 4 out of 26. It goes quicker and quicker. All I'm doing is counting them now. Here are the New England Patriots. It's really nice how they have them on 2 sheets, 2 exact sheets. Reggie Rucker. Anyone remember him? I think what's his name is I forgot his name. His parents, I think, were Native American. Plunkett, was it? Yeah, Jim Plunkett. Supposed to be, he was a decent quarterback. He just was on an awful team. I think they were blind also. I think I seem to remember. I think both his parents were blind. There's actually no need to count them, as long as you know they're 18, as long as you don't screw them. Here's the NL East. Miami, New York, Baltimore, Buffalo, and New England, if I'm not mistaken. It was kind of easier to keep track of back then, don't you think? Okay, here's the Central, AFC Central, Pittsburgh Steelers. And I believe Pittsburgh lost to Miami in the playoffs, didn't they? I think they beat them in the championship game. I could be wrong. Someone will correct me or Cleveland. No, Cleveland was NFC, I'm sorry. Cleveland was decent. These are the Pittsburgh Steelers. There. You'll have Harris, Bradshaw. Shanklin was a flanker. Frenchie Fuqua. Bradshaw. Here's Harris. 1,055. I know this can be tedious. I'm going to actually, after I do this, if you're not into this, I'll be, here's Cleveland. I'll be actually starting with the reading of the instructions in the first game. These are the Cleveland Browns. Now the Cincinnati Bengals, who I think were about average for a team. They all have the same exact amount of cards. I think that's good. Ooh, these smell good too. Well, there's Cincinnati. And then Houston. And then that's it for the division. Then we'll move to the West. Boy, these smell good. Oh, yeah, that's very good. So that takes care of 2 of 3 divisions in the AFC. We move to Oakland. Love Oakland. Darryl LaMonica, Marv Hubbard, Fred Biletnikoff. For some, Blanda was a backup quarterback and the place kicker, and he was 40. What was he? 43 or 46? They were calling him so old. The Oakland Raiders. Then they got Stabler. You remember? Stabler died. I don't know if LaMonica's still alive. Here are the Oakland A's. The Oakland Raiders. And they've moved so many times that I can't even keep track anymore. Whoops. This is Strat-O-Matic porn. The Kansas City Chiefs with Len Dawson, Coach Hank Stram. And I got to remember some of these other players. I can't remember any of them right now, besides Dawson. Oh. Oh. Beautiful. Okay, the Denver Broncos. I remember Floyd Little, and I remember when they were, at least I was starting to pay attention to them. It was my freshman year this season, freshman year in high school. The Denver Broncos. They were, this year, they were considered a quote-unquote bad team or a below-average team. Here are the San Diego Chargers. They were also bad, to the best of my recall. And we'll have the entire AFC completed as soon as I rip this team. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and start my first game. But it's not going to be like a game you're probably very used to. It's a preseason game. So if I make a mistake or screw up, it's okay. Okay, here is the AFC West. These are actually a little longer than the baseball cards. That's kind of neat. Yeah, they're wider and they're, look at this, compare these, a baseball card. Makes it easier to see, you know? This is going to be tough. I think I'm going to be using a 4-3 defense by default. Does that sound okay to you all? Is that all right with you all? I'm going to move on to the NFC. Here are the Washington Redskins. Larry Brown. I believe Kilmer was their main quarterback. He never excited me. Forgot his first name. Let's see where Billy Kilmer. Bill Malinchak, Clifton McNeil. Some of the names ring bells. Charlie Taylor was a receiver. Here's Billy Kilmer. Not bad at all. I don't know where Larry Brown is. Sonny Jorgensen is the backup. Too hurt. Okay. But he was great on the time he did play. Wow. Charlie Taylor. I can't find who I'm looking for. Didn't they have a running back, Larry Brown? I can't find Larry Brown. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to worry about it. Probably not. Okay, here are the Giants. I believe they had... Did they have Tarkenton by now? I think they had Tarkenton. They had Ron Johnson. What position did he play? Was he a running back or was he a like a little linebacker or something? They were kind of mediocre. I think they were just, it's hard for me to remember, about 500 team. give or take. I'm not particularly, my behavior or my demeanor is a little bit, mellow now because I'm washed out. Here's Bob Tucker. Wonder if they still have. Here's Ron Johnson, a receiver. I must have missed him. Who their quarterback? Who their main quarterback is? Oh, Randy Johnson. He hardly played. Okay. Where is he? John Orduna. He's a second string. Where's their freaking quarterback? I don't know if I'm... Here. Norm Snead. I don't remember him. Christ. I guess Tarkenton was on Minnesota, huh? Ay. Okay, here are the Eagles. Now, they were bad. I can't remember anybody on that team. And that's a really good thing that they have these, I'll say it again, in full teams on 2 sheets. It is a tedious thing. That's part of the reason why I broadcast it, because shit, I don't want to sit here alone and do this. I might as well drag you into it. Here come the Cowboys. They were good. I think they were good. Not good enough, though. They had to have had Staubach, and then you have the Cardinals, and I think that's it. Yeah. Dallas, Calvin Hill, Staubach. Geez, it's hard to even remember. Here's Staubach. He was a Heisman, wasn't he? From, I don't know if it was Navy, I think. And now the Cards, they were about an average team, I think. They were pretty decent in like 1970. Folks, if you're interested in watching me go through these instructions, by all means, and that's going to be the first game, actually. And if I make a mistake, if I stumble, if I do something that I can't figure out, we will just let it happen, let it all land. These are exhibition games. You understand? I don't want you to think these are real league games. Okay, there's the East. Two more divisions to go, and they each only have 4 teams. love this game. This game is beautiful. Green Bay. They had Brockington. I think he got 1,000 yards, if I'm thinking of the right guy. But I don't remember. They were a below average team in the NFC Central. Minnesota, I think, was probably the best. These are the Green Bay Packers. It's good for the motor activity when you get to be my age, to keep yourself active mentally and also in the hand-eye coordination, ripping cards. It really is a task. That is worthwhile. And here's the Twins. Not the Twins, the Vikings. You had Green Bay, Chicago, and Detroit. Detroit was, I'm just giving you my best memory. They were probably better than Chicago and Green Bay. Vikings probably had great defense, so-so offense, unless they were better. I wonder if, God, I don't think so. Trying to think the era of Peyton. He was later, wasn't he? Walter? Yeah, he had to be later. Let's check it out. Chicago. Oh boy, these really smell good. I know you probably think, no, he's not on this team. You probably think I'm a wacko. You know that? For really getting off on the smell. But there is a beautiful smell that permeates. There are the Chicago Bears. I always considered them to have a good tradition. Even back then when I was a kid and they were bad, they were still the Chicago Bears, which went back years, you know. Here are this final game from the Central. And by the way, I picked Jets at Cleveland for the exhibition game. It's really like an exhibition preseason. I believe the Dolphins lost it. They were 3-3 in the preseason. Did you know that? And then they were perfect. Now we move on. You have San Francisco, LA, San Diego, and who else? Let me think. What's that magic one? San Francisco, LA, bear with me, San Diego, or maybe they're in the AFC. Wait a minute. New Orleans. You had New Orleans. They were in the West. Whoa. They were bad. San Francisco, LA, Atlanta. They're in the, I thought, yeah, they were in the, but were they were put in the West. Wasn't that weird? Let me look that up. That is so weird. That happens sometimes. Here we go. Oh, Atlanta. Yeah, West. They were in the West in baseball, you know? They do that because they couldn't figure out, you know, how to deal with it. They obviously didn't have a fourth team far enough west. And even New Orleans is like central at best. You know what I'm saying? Anybody out there? Don't feel obligated. But I am going to be starting a game very, very soon. I have to. I just got two more teams here, LA and Atlanta. And New Orleans, 3 teams, okay. Yep. I've got to do something tonight, and this, I won't be going long, but I'm going to go slow. I hope some of you'll be laughing. It's almost like, you know, when I was a kid and I started working, say, at a hamburger joint, like a fast food, whatever it was called, not McDonald's. I worked at Burger King, and I also worked Wetson's in New York. And, oh, thank you, Ron. Great to see you. I hope you feeling any better? Sometimes the head cold gets worse. Any illness in the evening. Here's Atlanta. And then our last team would be New Orleans. There's Atlanta. And then finally New Orleans. I could easily get the hang of this and probably get very good at it. But fortunately, it's just something you got to do when you first get the set. And that really turned me off when I bought a set in the 90s to see if I was interested in getting back. So here's the setup that I have. There's the AFC and NFC. Here's the X chart. And this is good to have two of them because that's if you play another person face to face. Here's that. Here's the roster, the instructions. Here's the field and time slots. Your play calls, your green and red items. We'll put the rubber bands down with some of our others over there. These 3 extra sheets come with the game. I have a pad, but I'm going to take one for the exhibition game tonight. This is Jeffrey Guterman. This has been the unboxing of the 1972. In about, it's 6:17, in about 2 minutes, I'll be broadcasting our first game. In August of 1972, it was really played, the Jets at Cleveland. Not in municipal, but in a college location. I'll catch you later.